Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Discourse. My name is Brendan Lotz and today we're going to be talking about something that is on everybody's lips, Black Friday. Black Friday is originally an American observation, I guess. I don't want to call it a holiday because it's not technically a holiday, but it's a day of shopping that comes after Thanksgiving. If you were around in the early 90s and early 2000s, you may remember hearing about Black Friday through news reports where people were getting into stampedes. There was just chaos on the day. And it's actually a long-standing tradition in the United States. According to the Encyclopedia Britannica, it dates back to the early 1960s when police officers in Philadelphia began using the phrase Black Friday to describe the chaos that resulted when large numbers of suburban tourists came into the city to begin their holiday shopping. That has evolved now into a massive shopping holiday that's recognized the world over. Again, I keep using the word holiday, and I say that because it does feel like a holiday, because everybody's out in the stores, everybody's out in the shops getting deals, or they're sitting online. So, it is something of a holiday. And here in South Africa, we have embraced it with arms wide open. And today we thought that we would sit down and have a chat to director of One Day Only, Laurian Venter. Now, you might have heard of One Day Only before. They are a deals website. They were established in 2010 by friends Chris Oberhofer and Moritz Vermeulen, and they wanted to do something that had never really been seen in South Africa, and that was an e-commerce deals website. At the time, we had the likes of Kalahari.net, that's a throwback for some of our older listeners, which eventually became Takealot. And One Day Only was one of the OGs of the South African e-commerce space, and they made a name for themselves by offering limited time deals. And today, they still exist and they're still doing the same thing. One day only deals that expire at midnight, and every night the site gets wiped clean and a whole new batch of deals is loaded onto the website. And while they are sort of a mainstay in e-commerce, I think it's worth mentioning that this is a model that doesn't seem like it should work, but it does, because if anything, South Africans love a deal. I know I do. Most of the people I surround myself with do. So I imagine that this is a core South African trait, right? We love a deal. So it makes sense that a platform like One Day Only would succeed. And they've kind of built their name on the fact that it's every day is Black Friday at One Day Only. We decided that we would sit down with Laurian Venter, the director of One Day Only, to chat a bit about the company, its plans for Black Friday, and what it takes to build a new website pretty much every day with new deals. The other thing that makes One Day Only so unique in the current age of e-commerce is that all the deals are curated by One Day Only itself. Platforms like Takealot and Amazon are really marketplaces these days, where anyone who is selling product can apply to become a vendor on these platforms. And Takealot just kind of acts as the middleman between you and these vendors. So One Day Only is unique in that it has a huge staffing complement that is just focused on buying products and buying them at the best possible prices. They have around 300, over 300 employees that are working in the back that just make things happen. And it's a really interesting business model. And like we said, we wanted to chat to them about Black Friday. One Day Only's Black Friday festivities actually kick off today, the 22nd of November. And you can head to onedayonly.co.za to find up to 100% off. This morning we had a look, and 100% you could get a free bottle of Handy Andy, which is nice, I guess, but obviously you would have to pay for shipping with that. So yeah, take a look at One Day Only, see what deals you can find. I've seen a couple of things. At one point this morning, they were offering a 1,000 Rand Lyft voucher for 19 Rand. So yeah, it's worth checking out, especially if you are hungry for a deal this Black Friday. When you hear me again, we'll be chatting to Laurian Venter, director of One Day Only. Laurian, welcome to the Discourse. Thank you for joining us.
Wonderful to be with you, Brendan.
Can you tell us a bit about yourself, Laurian? Tell us about your journey with One Day Only, and how things are going with you.
Fantastic. So, yeah, I'm Laurian. I'm one of the directors at One Day Only. I focus specifically on the sales team. And I have been with One Day Only for 13 years now. The business started 14 years ago. Originally it was just running one deal every single day. And, sort of over the years, we thought, well, let's do something wild and try running a few more deals every day. And now we sort of run around 300 or so amazing new deals every single day. One Day Only is a 24-hour deal site. So we've got great deals, great prices, great brands, and they're just up for 24 hours. So you've got to jump in, grab it before it sells out quickly, and then we deliver as quickly as possible.
And I can imagine that that's quite a complex undertaking to be able to have deals available every single day. How do you guys manage to get that right?
It's crazy, honestly. It's like the New York Stock Exchange in here. It really is. It's a really, really wild business model to say build an entire website with 300 deals, get it up and get it looking beautiful and perfect every single night at midnight, and run flat out for the full day, and the next day tear it down and start again. So it's crazy, but that is what makes it exciting and dynamic and vibrant and everything that One Day Only really is.
So, I think let's start with Black Friday, because, as I mentioned, it's gone from being a one-day sort of thing to now a month-long thing. Is that something that you've noticed in the sector as well? Is that there are more and more retailers that are expanding Black Friday to encompass the whole of November? And what's your opinion of that?
Yeah, it definitely is the case for many, many retailers. Just to say that this is our 10th Black Friday that we're running. So that's quite a milestone in any event. To say 10 years ago, we thought, there's this weird little holiday and weird little sale deal happening in America. Let's see if we can do something. And it was highly, highly successful. And so we've been building on that over the years. For sure, Black Friday is by far the biggest sales day in the year, by sort of 7 times more than a great day. So it is an incredible, incredible, incredible day for any retailer. But to be honest, November is a fantastic month for all retailers if they're getting it right. So yes, most retailers do start at the beginning of November. We're not calling it sort of Black November or anything else, but definitely the sales start to ramp up, the campaigns start to ramp up, the marketing ramps up. So it is the case. We've got a fantastic run-up week. So we're starting the week before and really throwing everything we can at it for the week. And that goes onto Black Friday, over the weekend. And then there's something called Cyber Monday on the Monday, which is really a big online day. Cyber, is speaking specifically about the online sales. And it always has traditionally been a lot about tech products and items as well. So that's really what we focus on.
Yeah, Cyber Monday, is that really big in South Africa, or for you guys at least?
Definitely, it's a fantastic day. It's again also probably our second biggest day of the year. So people are still looking for great deals. They've been hustling and chasing deals all weekend, and by the Monday, it's still a very, very big day. But I mean, it's also a big day because all the retailers, well, specifically for us being a daily deal site. We really focus on it for the entire year. So we've been planning for this November month since January in terms of what deals do we need to make sure there's stock of, what deals do we need to buy in, what discounts do we need to push our suppliers for, what volumes do we need to buy in order to be able to get fantastic deals. So, it is worthwhile because it's been really, really focused on.
Yeah, I can imagine it takes a lot of planning, especially from your guys' part, where you thrive on having deals every day. But on Black Friday, do you try and offer something a little bit more, like Just that little bit extra, you know? Do you guys try and do that on Black Friday with great
We don't
discounts?
we don't try to go for just that little bit extra. We try and go all in. I mean, we do joke and say every day is Black Friday at One Day Only, and that is the case. Every day is great, crazy deals. But on Black Friday, and in fact, that whole build-up week leading up to it, and the weekend thereafter, we have crazy, 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 crazy deals coming up, and we've got massive, exciting things to pop up all day. We've got a really cool and exciting campaign that I can't tell you too much about, but I can say it's very, very worthwhile for people to jump onto our site and see what's happening.
Yeah, I think we don't want to give too much away. I won't ask that of you, but yeah, I think it's worth mentioning that keep One Day Only bookmarked. I mean, in the past, you guys have had some really spectacular deals. And what I find interesting about One Day Only is that you guys tend to stay online, which I can't say the same for a lot of other retailers. So I'm wondering how you guys prepare for a massive influx of visitors to your website on Black Friday from a sort of infrastructure perspective.
Yeah, definitely. We have a really great development team and engineering team. One of our biggest challenges, because we have run a lot of 100% off deals on Black Friday and the week before, is that we used to have a lot of people trying to scrape the site and trying to find those deals and trying to do it in an illegitimate way, which is just not fair for the regular customers who are sitting there with their fingers trying to grab those deals. And it causes massive lag with people sort of targeting it. So we've had to make sure that we've got all sorts of things to defend against that we can't have people scraping the site to try and find those deals. We've got to make sure that we can handle the load, specifically at midnight, because our deals go live at midnight on Black Friday or on the Thursday before. And the influx that we have in that moment is 10 times, 20 times, 100 times more than any other moment of the year. So we have to make sure there are more, technical sides behind it that can actually be able to handle that kind of traffic.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that that's something that a lot of people don't expect. I know it's happened to us here at Hypertext a couple of times where we'll publish a really popular story, it'll gain traction, and then your site goes down. And then you lose all that traffic, and that's never good, especially for you guys who have been planning this for a year. So, Laurian, I wanted to find out. So, a lot of people will say that Black Friday and Cyber Monday kick off the festive shopping season.
Yes.
And that seems to be the case from a lot of the data that we see, is that once Black Friday is passed, just retail and spending kind of stays up until around Christmas, and then it tends to start going downwards. Do you guys notice the same thing on One Day Only?
Definitely. It's as I say, I think the whole of November, we can see massive sort of uptick in spending already, and that's super exciting every year when we start to see people, doing their Christmas shopping, buying their gifts, getting ready for holidays, etc. But definitely, that whole Black Friday week is the kickoff, and then it ramps right up. For us, things start to taper off a little sooner, maybe a week before Christmas, because obviously you've got to get deliveries happening. And it's not the same as a normal retailer where you go in, you buy your gift the day before Christmas because you forgot to get anything before that. You have to have a little bit more pre-planning. So in terms of Christmas presents and that sort of stock buying, we start to see a bit of a tapering off. But then people are on holiday and they've still got their app on the phone, and a lot of people still place orders that get delivered to their home whilst they're on holiday, and then they get home and they get all their surprises when they get back from their holidays.
And I'm sure that you guys work really, really closely with the people you have that are delivering the shopping. How do these folks prepare? Do you give them a heads up saying there's going to be an influx of orders, prepare for this? Do they sort of have their own intelligence? Maybe you can give us a bit more insight in that.
Yeah, I mean, we've got incredible dashboards to show us, day by day, minute by minute, hour by hour, figures, etc. So we will know in advance, a day in advance, etc., to be able to say to the guys, listen, tomorrow's going to be massive. And so we've got specific cages for each delivery partner that they literally just back their truck in and the goods get sent off. And obviously on busy days, we get lots and lots of trucks, and on less busy days, they won't send as many. But yeah, that's definitely a hand-in-hand partnership that is ready, and they need to be prepped well in advance now to know the kind of influx that we're expecting.
Yeah, it sounds like over the years that One Day Only has been around, and the 10 years that you've been doing Black Friday, you've kind of gotten into a swing of things and know the most efficient way to get the job done.
Well, I mean, it's so funny. As I say, we were sitting this week with our Black Friday prep that we do just beforehand, and it is quite funny over the years. Initially you're just figuring it all out and how do we do this thing, whereas now we've got all our learnings from last year Black Friday that we did a session in December and then again in February, so we can make sure that we're not making the same mistakes year after year. And that's really key is, to write things down fresh straight after Black Friday, to remember for next year so that you can just revisit it quickly and easily. And hopefully, the mistakes you make over the years, you don't repeat them. There are always fresh curveballs, there are always fresh challenges, there are always things that happen along the way. And you deal with them as they come. But we definitely feel prepped and planned as to the best of our abilities for this year.
Yeah. So something we saw emerge last year during Black Friday was that the majority, a large portion of South Africans who were participating in Black Friday were shopping for essentials. That kind of speaks to the state of the economy, really, where people are looking for deals and looking to kind of stock up ahead of the festive season, I'm sure. And I've noticed a lot of e-commerce platforms have kind of leaned into this and offer sort of essentials. I know it's something that you guys do at One Day Only, and I'm wondering if that sort of insight into the market where we're seeing the people are struggling, if that kind of guides how you plan for Black Friday and what deals you shop for throughout the year. Does that factor into your decision making as regards what you're going to be placing on the site on the day or over the weekend?
Definitely. I mean, I think the reality is South Africans have been feeling the pinch. It has not been an easy year. Last year was a really tough year. We've really been hit with a lot of things and a lot of extra costs that were not factored in. And so, that's really where a site like One Day Only does come to shine, because people still want the great products. They still want the great brands. It's just that, there's less sort of bang for your buck at the end of the month. We've definitely seen it to our advantage because we are a discount site where you're getting a big saving. But just in terms of the everyday essentials, that came about during COVID, where we could only sell essentials and we could only sell this and we could only sell that. And so we started listing things. And, remarkably, toilet paper is one of our top sellers on our site. I mean, that is just a crazy insight. But I mean, it is a great thing. It's something that you always need, and it's pretty expensive. So to get it delivered, it's also very bulky. So to get it delivered to your front door, you don't need to worry about doing anything with it, and you just have it sitting in bulk, and you can pull it off. We definitely see a massive add on there. But I think the reason why we've kept it on the site is that it is a huge convenience for our customers.
Yeah.
So they're busy buying, and like today we've got this amazing robotic vacuum and mop, and it's selling so well. I mean, the height of luxury to just be able to push the button and with your app and it just goes and cleans your whole home, which is amazing. But then you just throw in some Omo, throw in some Sunlight, throw in some bits and pieces. It's really just such a convenient thing to be able to add those things, and we're offering it at absolutely killer prices. So it's really a win-win for our customers. And that's why we kept.
Yeah, I was going to mention the Robo Vacuum because that's a steep discount on a robotic vacuum cleaner. Unfortunately, this is coming out a week later after we recorded, so you'll just have to go to One Day Only today to see what the massive deal is, because every day there is something quite jaw dropping to find. You know.
Yeah, I think that particular item is 62% off. So it's a really killer deal. And we may or may not have some really exciting RoboVacs coming up for Black Friday too.
I'm telling you guys, bookmark Black Friday. I mean, One Day Only for Black Friday, because you're gonna miss out on deals because they do go quickly. And I think that's a lot of South Africans realize this. Is like you mentioned, at midnight your deals go live, and I think most South Africans stay up until midnight to see what the deals are and get them first. Because yeah, things do struggle, or yeah,
Yes.
things are a struggle at the moment rather. So I wanted to chat a bit about. One Day Only and the kind of we've seen with the introduction of Amazon that Amazon is really just kind of a marketplace. There's another local retailer who I don't really want to mention, but they are also sort of becoming a marketplace where other retailers and other sellers can kind of flog their wares. But the problem with that, from my perspective, is that we start to see a kind of dip in quality in terms of items. We start seeing people claiming that they've been scammed and alleging that the products that they are advertised are not what they see. But I feel like you guys at One Day Only keep a really tight control in terms of quality. And I'm wondering how much of a chore that is for you guys, or is it something that is just built into how the business operates?
No, it's not built into how our business. It's built into our systems and our beliefs. But it's not like, for example, other marketplaces where anybody can just list any products, and that isn't how we work. So what we do is we are constantly contacting suppliers and having suppliers contact us, and then we curate what deals we put up. And I think that's really where the difference lies.
Absolutely.
Is we've very big team of sales staff who are looking all the time. They get samples in. We have our own studio and we shoot a lot of the images ourselves so that we can represent the products well. I mean, there are always going to be challenges, but in general, we really focus very, very, very intently on making sure that what you see is what you get.
I think that's so valuable, especially for a website such as One Day Only, where you're offering deals. And I think there's kind of a stigma around websites like that, brought on by international players who are also marketplaces, where anyone can hop on and sell something, and they can paint you this wondrous picture of what something is, but when you
Yes.
get it, it's something completely different. So I think there's so much value in what you guys do, and yeah, I think it's a very, very admirable thing to do, despite how much work it takes on your part to make sure that you're getting this premium experience, but at a massive discounted price, really.
For sure.
So I wanted to chat just a bit about Black Friday and sort of the pressure that is placed on businesses to participate. I've seen a couple of small businesses, especially on forums and kind of groups where small businesses congregate, and they kind of debate the concept of participating in Black Friday and whether it's something that they have to do. And I think that there is a perception that if you're a retailer, you must have a Black Friday special, but on the same token, not a lot of small businesses can afford to do that. So, what advice would you offer to a company or a small business that is looking to, or that is struggling with this decision of participating in Black Friday or not?
Yeah, it's a challenge. I think we're quite a mass retailer, and if you're a mass retailer and you don't participate in Black Friday, I think you are gonna miss out. I think for the smaller curated brands, you've got to have a strategy and you've got to stick with it. I think that potentially what you can do, even if you are a smaller curated brand, is have a few items up that can be sort of loss leaders to bring in business. That's one strategy. And the other strategy is to say, well, we don't participate in Black Friday at all. And in fact, we don't offer discounts at all. And to just hold the line and keep their pricing at normal. And I think either can work. If you're going to participate in Black Friday and you're going to offer great deals, you will get good volume and good traction and good, eyeballs to your site if you're on a website. But if you have a premium brand and you want to hold the line and just sell things at normal retail throughout, that's a totally different strategy. And there's also something very special in that.
And tell me, Laurian, has One Day Only ever considered becoming more of a general sort of dealer, as it were, in terms of having products that people can keep coming back to and buying, rather than just the one-off deals? Has that ever been a conversation that you guys have had, or are you adamant in sticking with we're going to offer limited time deals, and that's how we're going to move forward in this market?
I mean, I think the reality is one of the things that makes One Day Only so exciting is that FOMO factor. And we hear it all the time with people saying, I woke up this morning and in fact, I wake up every morning and I jump onto the One Day Only app and I see what you guys have got up, and it's so exciting. So, there's definitely always going to be an element of that. We actually did launch a really, really exciting tab on the 2nd of August called Extra Time Deals. And if you haven't checked it out, go and have a look at it. And that is deals from the day before. So we'll have some of our best sellers. And people, one of the things we've got to always do is say, well, what are customers wanting? And our customers were saying, I love that deal, but I just forgot to have a look at it on the day and I didn't check out. So a couple of our top sellers are moving over to Extra Time Deals. So it just gives you a little bit more time to have a look and see if you did miss out on the day. Again, you never know if there will still be stock, because our stuff does sell really, really quickly. But have a look at the Extra Time Deals. You do get a little bit more time just to consider and place your order. And then we have got our Everyday Essentials tab as well. So all little tabs at the top of the site. And that's the Everyday Essentials that run throughout the month. So there are deals that you can get on a continuous basis. And then every now and then we get a great deal on it and it goes back to the main page. So lots of different options.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us, Laurian. I really appreciate the insight that you offered up to us today. Again, I recommend everybody bookmark One Day Only. It's a website that I still check every day to this day. I don't know how you guys managed to do it, but you have, and I think that some student somewhere should do a psychological study into South Africans and how you guys have managed to just ethically, I will say, get us all to keep coming back to this website. I think it's testament to the fact that South Africans love a good deal.
Yep, we do. We sure do. And but we still, as I say, we still want great things. And that's the aim of the game, is to provide great savings for South Africans. We sure do need it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys accomplish that every single day. Once again, Laurian, thank you so much for joining us on The Discourse.
Wonderful. Thanks for the time.